Welcome back to Talking Hip Hop. I'm your host, JustKeekz, and thank you for joining me today. I first want to start off by saying that I hope all of my viewers are safe and indoors. Due to COVID-19, our interviews will be conducted virtually. Before we jump into today's segment, I do want to take the time to acknowledge some of the things that have been happening worldwide and some of the things that have been happening in our own backyard. I first want to start off with Toronto hip-hop artist Houdini, who was fatally shot on May 26th of this year. He was only 21. I believe there were two others who were wounded, but they are expected to recover. But there are way too many stories similar to this one, and it really bothers me to see another talented rapper die in this kind of way. I want to send my deepest condolences, prayers, and love to his family, his friends, and his fans. From what I've seen, he was well on his way with music, so it's unfortunate what happened to him. If you are unaware of who I'm talking about, search up Houdini and check out his music. I also want to honor and pay my respect to all of the innocent Black lives that have been lost recently and have been lost long before as a result of racism and police brutality. Although I don't think brutality is the correct word to use anymore, police murder. While there is so much chaos going on in the world, please stay woke, educate yourself, and see what you can do to help, because together we can make a difference. Keep your head up during these troubling times, because I think better days are coming. And I'll leave it on that. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to Talking Hip Hop. As you can see, I'm here with a special guest. Here with me is the LolaBunz. LolaBunz is an up-and-coming hip-hop artist from Toronto. Her rap style is expressive, and she makes music that speaks to her community. Please welcome to the show, the LolaBunz.
Hey.
Hey.
Just LolaBunz. Just
LolaBunz. Sorry, I'm gonna drop the.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
So
thanks for having me, anyways, on your show.
Thank you for joining. Yes, get situated.
Pick up this lighting. Let me get back.
Yeah. How are you coping with everything going on right now?
You just gotta try to stay level-headed as much as you can. You know what I mean? You have to focus on your own personal mental health. It could be draining, there's a lot going on right now in the world, and there's a lot of triggers for us as Black people, as women, as artists, both in the industry and just within the city in Toronto right now. There's a lot going on, you know what I mean? But I'm all right, you know what I mean? Like, shoot, what can you do? Like, you could have life plans, but at the end of the day, like, God has the ultimate plan, you know what I mean? So just kind of dealing with the situation and adapting to what needs to be, like, adapting to what's going on right now,
I hear you.
Yeah. Like, as an artist too, it's a bit like, it's very kind of hard times because there's absolutely no live shows going on. We're not performing. Studios had, like, even for me, like, studios were closed for a while, you know what I mean? So there was a moment of, okay, like, things are closed, but it's like, usually you have a studio, like, studio never closes, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, studio all type of night, but it's like just adapting to that and just trying to, like, figure out different ways to push your music, everything, a lot of things,
So talk to me a little bit about like, because you've been doing music for a long time. So where did your journey start?
Good question. I've been in this for quite a while, actually. For me, like, the journey started when I fell in love with hip hop. Like I've been writing since the age of 11, like you know what I mean, since middle school, like, and I probably started performing when I was about high school, like 14, 15, you know what I mean? And I started performing at talent shows, you know, at school, high school, all that stuff. And I fell in love with it from then. Like I was on the grind. I'm like, yeah, I could do this. Like I see all these male rappers and stuff rapping and stuff like that. It's like, okay, no, I could do this too, and I could do this better. So let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even at the same time, just like people seeing me perform and things like that, and just the reactions that I got, it just was more motivating to be like, yeah, let's keep doing this. Let's go. Let's get booked for shows. Let's go bigger. Let's go bigger. Let's go bigger, you know?
In 2011, you along with some other people put together a rap cipher, especially just focused on females. How important was this back then, especially for like the lineup of female MCs, and how did it change your life? Because I did my research, like that got a lot of views. I'm sure at that time in 2011, like there was nothing like that. It was kind of unheard. But how important was it, and how did it change your life?
So that was actually my first video I actually put out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was actually, I think it was all of our first video. So the whole idea with that, even in the cipher, like before, don't get it twisted. Some people think that was like, before that I was performing, I was doing live shows, you know what I mean? That was like, yeah, I was starting out, you know what I mean? But with that, it was the same, like what I was saying earlier, like the same reason I even started making music and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, I see all these males doing it, but like, yeah, females, we could do it too. So it was me and Badass Buck, and she's one of the people in the cipher. It was me and 4 other girls. She was the one that she's like, oh, you know, because I wanted to do a cipher. Like I actually reached out to like different rappers in the city, and I'm like, yeah, let's do a cipher. And like nobody really took me seriously. I reached out to a lot of male rappers, you know what I mean? So then I came to Buck. Now I'm like, yo, Buck, I want to do this cipher, da da da. And then she's like, yo, why don't we just make it a female cipher? And because I knew some female rappers that are dope. She was a rapper herself. She knew some female. I'm like, yeah, like why not? So we hollered at Rushi, we hollered at Roots, and we're like, yo, want to do this cipher, da da da. Even the day of, like, we were just, and then Buck was like, let's get some shirts done. You know what I mean? Let's go to the mall. I know a guy who could do shirts, put our names on them. Like, yeah, so they remember our name. We ended up shooting it in a parking garage in the building. We were supposed to shoot it outside in the basketball net. It was a windy day. We bought a mic. The mic didn't work. We're playing the instrumental out of one of the Galdem's cars. You know what I mean? And it was just so authentic, and us just being us and showing our talent. And within 2 weeks, that thing, we had 20,000 views. We're like, what? We just put this up. Like, what? 20,000 views. 4 weeks from that, like 30,000 views. It's blowing up. You know what I mean? Up till this day, it probably has 100K now views. You know what I mean? From that time. And it just organically like created this kind of a buzz and a wave of a lot of ciphers came after it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, females are in this. You know what I mean? It started a wave, and it wasn't something that like we knew it was gonna blow up or whatever, but definitely got a lot of recognition off of that. We did a lot of shows off of that, and the only thing that kind of happened with that was people started thinking we were like a group. You know what I mean? And not really seeing us like our individual kind of artists or whatever. But it was, regardless, like I remember I had a show in New York, and I'm just like walking down the street, and people still be like, yo, you're that girl from the cipher. Like people seeing that around the world, you know what I mean? So it definitely got me like a lot of recognition and things like that, and it just kind of brought people back to that like real hip hop feel, you know?
Yeah. So fast forward now, your latest single, Sheisty, talk to me a little bit about the meaning behind the song, because I watched the music video, and I can tell you put a lot of thought into like just the story development and all of it. But I'm sure that inspiration, came from somewhere. So talk to me a little bit about the meaning behind the song.
So Sheisty was a song. I wrote it actually like before releasing it. I wrote it probably. I had it for like 7 months, 8 months. I just
wow.
had it.
Yeah.
I was going on to it. Like from I heard the beat, I'm like, yep. Yep. I gotta do something on this. Like, hey, this is a story. Like, I gotta really tell a story. So I really sat with it. And I like, Sheisty was just coming from a real place, talking about real situations, living in Toronto, living in the West, coming from where I come from, you know what I mean? Dealing with different situations. Everybody could say, yo, I know somebody that's just Sheisty. You know what I mean? Like, and the word Sheisty itself, Sheisty's not real. It's a word we kind of created. You know what I mean? Like somebody you think you trust, but you don't really trust, best friends, but they're really enemies. You know what I mean? Thought he was your brother, thought she was your wifey. Roll it heavy hitters.
So was this, sorry to cut you off, but was this based off of, like, it sounds real, like it's coming from your...
It's definitely, no, it's true story. Like, it's definitely true story, real situations. The second verse, I talk about, you know, a best friend I had that ended up rolling with my ex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sheisty was good from real situations. Definitely wanted to show different situations and things like that. And the song speaks for itself. Like, you know, people say they real, but they're moving Sheisty, even in this industry. You know what I'm saying? People say, yeah, they're gonna help you, they're on your team, and then they run away with your money. We hear things like this all the time. You know? So that was Sheisty.
Let's change gears a little bit, because I feel like as Black people, we gotta address what's going on right now. I'm sure you're aware of the clear gap between police officers and the Black community.
Yep.
How do you feel about what's going on with our people right now? You know, what are your thoughts on this?
It's a lot. It's emotional. It angers me. It saddens me. It's tiring. You know what I mean? And I say it's tiring because how many times are we gonna continue to hear the same story? How many times are we gonna be shoved under the rug, pushed aside? Like not only with the police, this is every day. You know what I mean? This is walk out of your building into an elevator and there's a lady like this in the corner because or she tells you to go first. She's not coming in the elevator with you because of you know what I mean? It's so deep, and it just, I'm grateful and I'm happy that like a lot of our allies are finally kind of paying attention, because a lot of people knew this was going on, but because we're in COVID-19 and everything that's going on, everybody is forced to really pay attention. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, oh, I heard there was a protest, da, 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 da. No. What is the protest about? What's happening? Let me go see a video. Let me go read an article. Oh, this happened. Oh, everybody is forced to pay attention. So that is the kind of beautiful thing out of this. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? There's been a lot, like, especially with police. Me, myself, I've been in Toronto. I've been beat up by 6 officers, a woman. You know what I mean? Like, for nothing. You know what I mean? Many situations. So I definitely feel that anger, feel that, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And even as an artist, it's like, you have to be, especially right now, the times we're in, you have to be really cautious of what you say.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Because everybody's sensitive right now. Everybody's really sensitive right now. You know what I mean? So even as an artist, like, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's a lot going on right now. Let's talk about something. Some time ago, there was a poster displayed about you in one of the bus stops in Jane and Finch. How did it feel to have your community show love to you in this kind of way? I'm sure that brought some type of feeling of, okay, yes, you know, this is why I do this. And how did that project come about?
Yeah, so that was the Crystals and Crowns project. It was a project put together by the city of Toronto and a group called Stolen from Africa. So Stolen from Africa, their name, I don't know if you've seen their sweaters and stuff before, but
I think I have.
yeah, but they also do a lot of community work with youth and things like that. And what they had done was different communities picked different like mentors or artists in their community that, you know, like are doing, you know, great things. The city wanted to pick like a few from each kind of neighborhood, marginalized neighborhood, priority neighborhood. And I was chosen for that. And it was shot. We did a photo shoot. We did a little video with it shot by EXO's team, like the Weeknd's videography team and things like that. So it was really dope. It was really dope. And just to see your work and your words, you know what I mean, on a billboard in where you came up, you know what I mean? And I've done, like, I used to do a lot of like community work. I work with Boys and Girls Club. I work with, like, you know, youth violence prevention programs, things like that. So youngins, they know me, and it's like, yo, Lola, I see you on the bus stop. You know what I mean? Like, and it was very empowering for me. It was really good for me because, you know, especially when you work with youth and work in community and things like that, even if you don't do it no more, to some of these youth, you're a mentor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a mentor if you want it or not. So when you're teaching youth, you know what I mean? Do this way, go that way, and work hard, you can make it and stuff like that. And they actually see it makes me feel like, you know, even if you didn't get it, that you heard it, you saw what I was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm living proof that what I'm telling you can happen. You know what I mean? For some of these, so it was really good. It was a really good experience. Yeah, it was good. It was real great.
You're very immersed in your music. You know, I can see that you're really passionate about it. How do you stay grounded? Like, what are some of the things that you can share that help you stay really focused? Because I'm sure there's a method to how you stay consistent, and how do you stay so focused and, you know, attentive to your music?
You know what? It's with music, I won't lie, a lot of times it's really a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll get inspiration, and sometimes I'll go like a month, I'd even write nothing, and you get stressed. It's like, oh man, why? Sometimes the creative juice doesn't come. But for me, I just always, like, anytime I feel like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore, like, there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of rappers in Toronto, you know what I mean? There's a lot of singers, there's a lot of producers, but then you say, what differentiates you from, like, everybody else? What are you saying? What message do you have? When I think of those things motivate me, you know what I mean?
What I hear you're saying is sometimes your creative juices have to come just by naturally doing nothing sometimes, and then that's when
sometimes you have to just pause. You know, because other than music, we all have a life. You gotta make money, you gotta work, you gotta go on a grind, you gotta whatever, family, all that stuff. Like, if you're dealing with life, like, if we ain't got nothing to do, we all got money and everything's good, like, you could just chill or whatever. But music, like, you know, music's a vibe. For me, everybody's different. Some people, I need to go to the studio for like 3 hours and then we're gonna create 5 songs. I could do that too sometimes, but what do I want to create? You know?
Yeah.
I want to make, I can make some club band. Yeah, like, we can do that, you know what I mean? But what do I want to create? Like, what am I creating? I have such a big platform and a voice and a following and things like that. It's like, what do I really want to create? You know? But yeah.
What is your biggest accomplishment this far? Like, something you're really proud of in terms of your music career?
My biggest, I think, I wouldn't say it's like one experience, but just being able to perform internationally. Like, you know, I'm Nigerian, so I've broken to the Afrobeat market in Nigeria. I've done Miami, I've done New York. You know what I mean? Like, I did South by Southwest. That was a big, that was actually probably one of the biggest festivals I've done so far, South by Southwest in Texas. So I did that last year. So that was really good because that brings in like thousands of people come to South by Southwest. And for the artist, like, resume, I would say, you know what I mean? To be booked for certain places and things like that. Like, people that are booking shows, they look at things like that. They look at your resume. Where have you been? Where have you performed? Because everybody can know you in your city, but your city is one dot on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a lot of people know me in Toronto and things like that, but what's next? Like, what shows am I doing that's gonna, you know what I mean, put money in my pocket, you know what I mean, bring me to that bigger stage. Maybe the A&R of Sony or somebody's gonna be in this crowd, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but definitely performing internationally, and just, that's definitely something that is one of my biggest accomplishments, and something I want to do more of, and like bigger shows and things like that. So
first off, just congratulations on everything you've been doing. It's super important to have role models like you representing, as you spoke about this, basically, you know, youth come up to you and they see that this is possible. So keep doing what you're doing.
Definitely.
Thank you for coming on the show. List all your social media accounts. Where can people go to keep up with you?
So y'all could go Instagram or my YouTube at the LolaBunz. That's THE LolaBunz with a Z. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. New music coming soon. Follow me on Spotify, LolaBunz. I'm everywhere. Find me on all the socials.
Nice. Anything else you want to comment on or plug before we end the interview?
No. Well, one thing, I'm working on a book. This is something like completely on the side, but as I was saying before, I used to do a lot of spoken word, and I have like tons of poems and things like that. So I'll be working on a book.
Yeah.
So look out for that too. Hopefully, when things open back up, you know, we could have some live performances and things like that. But definitely check me out. I'll keep y'all posted on the socials about all that stuff. So.
Awesome. You heard it first, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That's all for today's episode. I'm your host, JustKeekz. And until next time, keep talking hip hop. Peace.